Hi, this is Wishup. Welcome to your March reading, your March tarot reading for this sort of mix and match set of 2019 forecasts I've been doing. I'll get this arranged a little. Every time I got to rearrange it. Sorry, but there we go. So this is what we have for March, and it's the Ostara Tarot. This is my Hoi Polloi deck, and this is the Reflections Tarot. So let's see what we get. Okay, the Seven of Swords. See this raccoon here? It's in reverse. The Six of Wands, upright. And the King of Cups. Okay, so what's kind of interesting about this is in the top corner of this reading in the January section, we started with the Queen of Cups, and here we finish with the King of Cups. In the playing card readings I did, there was also a pairing of the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. So there definitely could be the sense if there is a romantic situation at work or a situation of partnership, perhaps as parents or business partners, something like that, that over this quarter, you are working into that situation with grace. It's not an instant, everything happens all at once. This is a more mature kind of, let's work out some things, let's try some things, let's get to know each other, let's let it happen in a gentler but perhaps a deeper way than maybe instantaneous fireworks would suggest, I guess. So here in the March reading, just taken on its own, each one of these readings is intended to be standalone, or you can take them all together. And there are a lot of different reading modalities, so pick what you like. For me, when I see the Seven of Swords in reverse, I think of something you can't get away with. So here, the raccoon, and we think of raccoons as being sort of thieving and crafty animals, is taking the swords. What's a little interesting about this representation, let me just count this up, is I can't really tell if he has all the swords or not. I know in the traditional one, the sneaker, the thief, is leaving a couple behind. Here it's hard to tell if the raccoon has them all. But the idea is this can be a very mercurial kind of card. It deals with the mental realm. It can deal with thoughts you're having about tactics and strategies and schemes, you know, and sometimes you really need a plan of attack, a plan of action, a game plan. You know, you might be going in to present something and you really need a really well-tuned presentation to win the day. But when this one is in reverse, it's telling you whatever you're trying to do is not going to work with deception or even too much strategy and scheming. You're not going to be able to mastermind this. Now, not to draw too much on the previous cards, but there was really a feeling in the January reading too, if you want to go back and look at that, that you had done everything you could and you were waiting for a little tip-in from the divine, because the thing that you were missing wasn't something that maybe you had even identified, and that there was something coming to you. So this is the idea that maybe you've received what you needed, you've gone through all the other processes through February, and now in March, you're trying to start scheming and masterminding again. You're trying to get in the position of planning too many scenarios, making too many clever, strategies for yourself. But victory is already coming. And victory is going to come by being like the King of Cups, by being trustworthy, by being mature, by being compassionate. And that doesn't mean, boring. The King of Cups is the best surfer in the deck. So you don't have to be boring. The person who makes the waves can also ride the waves. And the King of Cups knows how to make waves. So it doesn't mean that you have to be dull, but it does mean that you probably have to be mature about what you control and what you don't control. You control a great deal, but you're working with other people. And it could be a work situation, but it could also be a home situation. But other people are involved here. And the way that you're going to get them to trust you, and the way that you're going to give yourself a feeling of emotional security, is by not trying to out-scheme everybody. Not trying to figure out every possible scenario and every possible plan B and plan C. I think that's going to drive you crazy, because I think that the events are going to be a little too chaotic for that. Or maybe just, maybe chaotic isn't the word I want, because it's not necessarily that they're bad things. Like this, you're being like coasted and carried to victory. This isn't necessarily a bad thing at all, but it's not necessarily what the raccoon in his position as a thief was planning. Like this raccoon is thinking, I'll be lucky to get away without having my head chopped off. I'll be lucky to get away without going to jail, right? And this character's like, I'm not only not going to jail, I'm a hero. I'm representing some deal that these people think is worthwhile. And I think you do that through knowing yourself and through having that emotional maturity that allows other people to be themselves too, without feeling manipulated, right? So, that's kind of what I see here. These are really strong cards to close the quarter, and they are cards of victory and triumph. It might be the case that you get this great victory and people from the outside are like, wow, you really got it. But at the time you get it, you've become so emotionally mature or so in command of yourself that you're like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. And you're not going to feel like you're getting away with something. Another thing I want to point out here is sometimes people have the sense when they succeed at something that they're really a fraud, and that they feel that they'll be found out. Other people will realize that they're not so great, that they're not worth all that, that really inside they're unremarkable or untrustworthy, untalented, that kind of thing. This character has a sense of his own value, has a sense that he deserves the good things that happen to him, and that other people deserve good things to happen to them too. So if you've been in a process of transformation over the last 3 months, and part of what you've been working on is a sense of your own deservedness, or the sense of being some kind of fraud or imposter in your own life, it looks like you're going to make some progress on that and be able to take a genuine sense of pride in your achievements, and to know how much you're worth, and to accept the accolades and compliments from other people who also recognize that and who also want to celebrate the good things about you. So I think that's what's going on for March, and I hope you've been enjoying these readings. And until the next one, rock on with your bad selves.